College Football Saturdays. Paige, Dimakos, we have the best weekend of college football. We have LSU versus Ole Miss. We have Alabama versus Georgia. Then we get a prime time matchup, Oregon versus Penn State. We have College Football Saturdays at the Pemberton. Tell the people where Draft Club will be this weekend.
So we will be at the Pemberton in Phoenix, Arizona. We're not going to just be here this weekend. We've got multiple weekends. There will be 4 College Football Saturdays this fall, all happening at the Pemberton, and sponsored by Red Bull, Jose Cuervo, and Modelo. So if you can't find something you like, it's probably about you, okay? There's going to be they're going to have giveaways. We're going to have free drinks. If you find us, we're going to give you some free beer, okay? Who likes free beer? Everybody likes free beer. Yep. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have themed drinks for every school. We're going to be playing fight songs. We're going to be getting active. The Pemberton is 2 acres, downtown Phoenix, Arizona. Beautiful, beautiful area. We want to make sure that you guys come out there. We want to make sure you're responsible. So take an Uber, take a Lyft. Make sure you're making good decisions. All of our sponsors want to make sure you know. Please drink responsibly. Have a good time. College Football Saturdays, and that's DAZE for those paying attention at home. We are going to have ourselves a time. Starts at 9:30 a.m. Kickoff start at 9. We will be there starting at 9 o'clock. We're opening early. The Pemberton is opening early for us. The Draft Club, we're going to be there. Come out and find us. If you come find us, we got koozies for you. We got koozies. We got T-shirts. You're going to have to give us a follow to get a T-shirt, but you should be following us already, if I'm being honest. Yeah. I don't know why you're not following us already, but if you are not following us, make sure you follow the Draft Club. Come find us. Gonna have a hell of a time. Got lots of friends coming into town and maybe a few special guests. Yeah. Not quite ready to tell you who's gonna be yet, but there will be some people there. There will be people in attendance. So downtown Phoenix, that's the Pemberton for College Football Saturdays. Hell of a matchup. Best part is Nebraska's on a bye week, baby. I don't have to worry. I get to just sit back and enjoy myself and coast my way to a victory Monday.
Yep, there we have it. If you like football, you like fun, come to the best college football tailgate.
Yes.
Talking about at the Pemberton with the Draft Club.
Let's
get it. Okay, Paige Dimakos, we about to get into it, man. We have a great show coming up, and we're going to jump straight into it, right? Yes. We have Bill Belichick on one side. We have Coach Prime on the other side. The question is, who leaves college football first? Who is out of there? Who's the first one out of there?
I think it's going to be Bill Belichick.
Yep.
And I don't think Prime's going to be far behind. Let me be very clear. Because I don't think Prime's enjoying himself. I think these are 2 totally different scenarios. I think Bill's going to find himself out of this because he's going to totally ruin his legacy as a football coach if you keep having damn girls on the sidelines. Let me be very clear as the woman in the room, okay? Girlfriend, stop wearing stripper heels on the sideline. Let's start there. 2, stop being on the damn sideline. You want to support your man from the damn seats, okay? Because what is happening right now, he has children. Children, wake up, pay attention, take care of your father. Something is going wrong. This man has been body snatched. I don't know what's happening any longer. He's out there talking to his girl, and there's football going on behind him. This is bad. Keith, you thought this was going to be bad. I got to give you credit. I tried to be kind of positive. I'm a very positive person, so I always try and make it could work. And you were like, it's not going to work. And so far, checks notes, it's not working. So do you feel the same way? You think it's going to be Bill Belichick?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Bill Belichick. And I'll say this, right? I give myself credit for being right that this wasn't going to work.
You just didn't know why.
I had to only know. Well, I thought I knew why. I have to give myself only partial credit. I thought the football part was going to be bad, right? I thought Bill Belichick was not going to be 70 years old recruiting, right? I'm like, that's not going to work. I thought being at North Carolina, how are you going to recruit at that school and snatch all the top players from Georgia and Alabama and Florida State and all of these top schools, right? I thought he was going to be like, hey, I'm a little tired, right? I don't feel like going to all these different high schools.
Tired, Keith.
Right. And the girl situation, that's why I only get partial credit. I had no idea about that.
I don't think anybody could have foreseen
and it almost
Bill Belichick on a sideline with somebody who's 20-something years old in a mini skirt and high heels. And I'm like, brother, man, what are we doing? Yeah. You got a legacy as a football coach. Somebody got to save this man from himself. Steve Belichick, your son. Bro, I'm talking to you. If this was my pops, this girl would be gone already. I'm just telling you that right now. So somebody got to wake the hell up and go take care of business because she is destroying your father's legacy. And we all know she ain't there for anything but the money because she trademarked Gold Digger. This is like so far past being funny. This is a man's legacy. This is a guy who has 7 Super Bowl rings. Like, what are we even doing? Literally, what are we doing? And the moment you saw her with the Super Bowl rings on, you told me, ooh, P, this is not good news.
Yeah, the moment she had the rings on, and some of the rings were older than her, right? The moment she had the rings on, I knew it was going to be an issue.
But all jokes aside,
yeah,
right?
That's
all girl jokes aside, right? Because I don't like blaming the girl, but this is not. I can't not blame her because this is a distraction. You cannot be on the football field in the current situation, all the issues that she's caused. For somebody who literally lived off of the saying, right? Like off of being the most disciplined, no nonsense, no off the field distractions, no days off. This man chanted no days off at a Super Bowl parade. Literally. He was celebrating a Super Bowl and then was chanting no days off. This man looks like he's totally forgotten every part of him. And that's sad to watch football-wise. And I think on the flip side of this conversation, the prime conversation is a different one for me. Bill, I think, is going to find himself out because I don't know how much longer North Carolina can take this embarrassment, quite frankly. And I think he's going to find himself out. Prime, I think, is going to choose to walk away from Colorado, and it's because I don't think he's enjoying coaching football without Shedeur Sanders there.
I'm going to toss a question right back to you because you said that at the very beginning. Why don't you think he's enjoying it?
Look at him. Just watch him.
Is it his son's not being there a component? I'm asking, what do you think has changed for him?
Great players are very rarely great coaches. And you want to know why? Because they're so damn talented that they don't know how to coach up kids that have all that raw talent, okay? Coach Prime has very clearly skated on a not traditional schedule for a coach, okay? I know, obviously, his health was a big issue this offseason, but he was not with the team pretty much from the draft through the end of July when he was doing his treatment, which you can speak to. That is not how it is normally for college football.
No.
And I know that he's got guys like Pat Sher. He's put together a great staff.
No, you got Marshall Falk there.
Yeah, you
Warren
got great.
Sapp.
100%. Yeah. That being said, this is not the NFL. This is college. And when you're sitting down in a room with parents telling them that you can buy into Coach Prime and then you're not around, that's not okay. And it doesn't matter the health and whatever aside. If you need to step away, you need to step away, right? And I see the demeanor. I see him on the sideline. I see how he's acting. And I think a lot of it was the Shedeur stuff was very hard for him, I'm sure. He's a father. That situation was not for – and then on top of it, then he had cancer. Like, he's had a lot of stuff going on. I just don't think – I think what we saw from Coach Prime was him coaching his sons. And that includes Travis Hunter, who was like a son to him. This is the first time we're seeing him without those boys. And it doesn't look as he's already made a bad coaching decision with sitting Caden Salter and then bringing him back. He's making irrational, emotional decisions, and that's not what you want with your head football coach. And I don't think he's enjoying it. And I'm not reporting that. I'm just saying I'm watching his body language. I'm looking at him on the sideline. I'm looking at his press conferences, and I'm seeing him still continue to talk about. He's on a podcast talking about Shedeur. Why are you talking about Shedeur? You're a coach of the Colorado football team.
Right.
Like, at a certain point, we got to start asking him to stop being a father and start being the fucking coach of Colorado. Like, Shedeur's not playing football. Literally, Shedeur is a third-string quarterback on a very bad football team. Why are we talking about Shedeur? You need to be talking about your own football team. Is anybody paying attention? Like, if I'm Caden Salter's family, I'm pissed off. Why are you on a podcast with Travis Kelce talking about a third-string quarterback in the NFL? Literally, who cares? It doesn't matter. And I think that part is eventually that's going to catch up to him because this team is not very good right now. Colorado's not very good. And I think that's the part for me. I'm reading the tea leaves. I'm watching how he's acting. And I'm also just putting pieces together now and seeing how things are coming together. And I think a lot of what his happiness was around this was coaching his sons. And I don't fault him for that. I don't fault him for that at all.
Yeah, and I think throughout the entire draft process, and honestly, even when Shedeur was in college, right, we consistently asked, how would Shedeur be without Deion?
And we never
asked how would Deion be without Shedeur, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're at this threshold. And listen, like I said, I've worked in college football. Those are 80 to 90 to 100-hour work weeks, right? And if you're not fully committed to it, it's going to slowly chip away at you 1% at a time, right? And each loss is not just one loss, it counts as 3 losses, right? Yeah. And then each win, it doesn't count as one win, it counts as half a win. It just doesn't even feel the same. So I look at that situation, and I just think it's something to kind of be of note. Well, yeah, that's the other part, too, right?
The other part is financially, you don't need it.
Yeah.
Legacy-wise, you don't need, unless he feels like he can become a much better coach, which I just don't see happening, because I have yet to ever see any player across any sport become an elite coach. Yeah. Just doesn't happen.
Well, and we'll save this for another podcast, but we also have to look at Colorado.
Yeah, for sure.
And there was a situation with Colorado is that it was always going to be a capped situation.
Yeah, of course.
And that's why I always questioned, and I know he left Jackson State to go to Colorado, understand millions of dollars, facilities, more money, all these different things. But what is the cap on Colorado as a football program in its entirety? Will you ever have the drive to feel like we can compete for national championships?
Yeah.
That's the question, right? So then
I get up to go to work. Conference. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he
should be, if you're going to dominate, you got to figure it out in the Big 12.
But hear what I'm saying, and you can dominate the Big 12.
Yeah.
But that ain't still the cream of the crop in the Big 10 or the cream of the crop.
No, but you can get yourself to a college football playoff like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Which would be huge for them visibility-wise.
Yeah. I think that you start potentially asking yourself, why am I doing this, right? Yeah. And if you cannot properly identify why, then I think that's when you may potentially start to waver.
I'm going to be honest. I think what I thought and what I said and reported very early and what almost happened was what he was banking on. I don't think he was banking on staying in Colorado. I think he was banking on going to coach the Dallas Cowboys with Shedeur Sanders.
Right.
And we know it happened. We know there was a meeting. We know there was talk. We know there was conversation. And we know how close Jerry and Deion are. We just saw the damn documentary. This was very close to happening. I don't think he ever planned on not coaching Shedeur. I think this was that he had a plan and he forgot that the NFL don't care about your plan.
Right.
You can have all the plans you want in the world. That doesn't matter. Your kid's not starting. Your kid's a third-string quarterback on the Cleveland Browns. You want to go coach the Cleveland Browns? Is Shedeur even going to be on the Cleveland Browns in a year? I have no idea. And all this stuff that's coming out now, there are certain things that it takes to be a great football coach, to be a great coach in general. And it is very hard to be the elite. Prime is one of the best football players of all time. It is very hard to be that level of elite athlete and then also be a great coach. Just is. Wayne Gretzky, the greatest hockey player of all time, worst coach of all time.
Right.
They're not, it is very hard. You are so talented, it's hard to understand what it's like to be a below average football player and motivate those kids, because you don't have to do that. You never did. And you loved coaching your son. Now what do you love? I'm glad you brought up the point. We never asked that question. We never asked, what is Deion going to do without Shedeur? And it doesn't look like he's enjoying himself without Shedeur.
Yep. No, and we'll see.
And Shiloh. Sorry, Shiloh.
Right. It's one of those situations.
I think we all know who the favorite son is.
It's one of those situations where time would only tell. But
of course.
Listen, we're pivoting, but we're pivoting and staying in the negative lane, right? Because now we're about to talk about coaches, right? We talked about Deion, we talked about Bill Belichick, and those are coaches that will potentially leave. We're about to talk about some coaches that may not have the opportunity to leave because they're about to get kicked out.
Yeah, right? And it's this trend that started happening, right, Keith? Because I know you're going to pull up the list. We've got odds on the next coach that gets fired. But you saw 2 coaches get fired within the first 3 weeks of college football. And now, after Dabo Swinney's 13-minute long rant and then following up by that ass whooping that they took this week, Clemson is in a place that is very weird, uncharted waters. And there are quite a few other coaches that are up there, but this is when there's as much money. And listen, we know there was always money being thrown around in college football, but now it's documented money, okay? There's a difference. Donors now can look and go, yeah, we're spending $25 million a year on a football team and we're getting our ass whooped. Yeah, coach got to go. It's going to start to become like the NFL. And this is what's happening now. So now we've got this list of players from BetOnline. Their odds on the next coach that gets fired. So take it away.
Yep. Listen, we have Florida coach Billy Napier at a 3-2. He's leading. Then we have Mike Gundy, which is a curveball.
Shocker.
Think about
Big
2
time.
years ago where he was in, I guess the
legacy-wise,
the relationship with Oklahoma State. But he sits at 3-1. We have Sam Pittman, head coach of Arkansas at 5-1. We have Luke Fickell, head coach of Wisconsin at 7-1. We have Scott Satterfield, head coach of Cincinnati at 8-1, and then we have your guy, Mr. Dabo Swinney, head coach of Clemson at 9-1. Who do you think is the first guy out?
I think it's going to be Billy Napier.
You think Billy?
Yeah, I thought Billy was going to scrape by to get one of these last 2 wins. I thought, and they were really close. They could have had the LSU game. They could have had the Miami game. But coulda, woulda, shoulda ain't going to do it. And unfortunately, unless he's willing to move off of DJ Lagway, who literally cannot hold on to the football. And sometimes you just need to change the scenery. Sometimes a kid needs to go, like Carson Beck, right? We're watching Carson Beck be revitalized in Miami.
Yep.
Sometimes a kid needs to change the scenery. NFL guy needs to change the scenery. Sometimes that's what needs to happen, right? And maybe that's what needs to happen for DJ Lagway. But as long as he's quarterbacking and throwing the ball to the other team, Billy Napier's not going to be in a good spot because this defense ain't the problem.
Well, yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and agree with you, and then we'll just have somewhat of a conversation. I think it's not only the situation, because first of all, the defense has been playing well. It's been the offensive side of the football that has not showed up.
5 interceptions against LSU.
5 interceptions against LSU. Then you held Miami basically to 20 points or under 20 points up into the last few minutes, right? So the team is playing hard. They're fighting. The defense playing well. It's the offense side of the football. But this is where it gets crazy and gets crazy fast. They played LSU. They played Miami. They still have Texas A&M, Georgia, Tennessee, and Florida State, I believe, to wrap up the season. That's the biggest thing. It's really a wrong time.
Gauntlet coming up.
This is the most difficult schedule in all of college football. If you look at the premier ranked opponents, right? Outside of the games they scheduled, and they lost to USF, right? So you can't even count the game where it's
they could not win a football game.
Yeah, it could be tough. It could be tough.
Like they could be on their way to a all-time really bad 1-2. I don't think he can skate by with 3 wins this year.
Yeah, no.
I just don't think that's
this is the schedule, and that's what I'll say is bad timing, because this is a schedule you would have liked maybe year 1, right? To where you're like, okay, I know I have at least another year to kind of turn things around, but Coach Napier being a guy that kind of went back and forth with even last year being on a hot seat, being, honestly, it was the LSU game that kind of turned it around for him last year to being that he'd be able to secure his job. DJ Lagway was showing promise, but then now they're kind of sitting here, and it's just a tough situation.
We talked about this, though. It's probably the worst time to be a college football coach that's ever existed.
Oh, 100%.
Like, you've got
the turnover.
You've got transfer portal. You've got NIL. You've got NCAA changes. You've got the turnover that's happening. You got to recruit kids, then you got to recruit to keep them there.
Yep.
It has become a totally different ball game. And obviously, the spring transfer window going out the window, like, there are things that they're trying to adopt, but they're not catching up fast enough. I mean, there is a lot of change that needs to happen with college, and it's just a tough time to be a college coach. And I want to be very clear. He was a coach in college. I've been around enough coaches. I covered football in the NFL, and one of the worst things that happens is guys getting fired. And fans never think about the families, the wives, the kids that got to move schools, got to just uproot their whole life. It is not fun, and I do not wish that upon anybody. But the conversation's the conversation. Billy Napier was on the hot seat coming into last year. Things are not off to a good start. You thought DJ Lagway was going to take this team kind of to another level, and it has been a massive disappointment thus far, Keith.
Yep, 100%. Well, let's do this. We did Contender Pretender earlier this week for the NFL.
Yes, we did.
Let's do Contender Pretender for college football.
Okay.
So
you want me to lead this?
Yeah, you go ahead and lead it.
All right. Let's start off with the Oregon Quack Quack Ducks. Contender or pretender?
Flat out contender. And I said it.
You guys hear that? He called the Oregon Ducks contenders with a capital C, baby.
Which, last year I was on the other side of that.
He was talking that shit last year. Yeah. I'm glad he came over to the good side, finally.
But yeah, and I said it. I'm gonna say it again. This team is better than last year's team. So
100%.
This is definitely a team to worry about.
Yeah, and this is you're going contender.
I'm going contender, and I'm gonna go ahead and just double down. I'm gonna pick them to beat Penn State also.
Yep, also picking them to win that game. They're gonna go to Penn State, a tough, very tough environment. This is gonna be Dan Lanning's statement game.
Yeah,
this is gonna be a statement game for this team. They're gonna go in there. We know because of what he did last year in Michigan, looking up the Coliseum, all that. He lives for this moment. Mm-hmm. He's made for this, and Oregon's not going to be afraid of this. Listen, This is not going to be Penn State is an intimidating environment. Dan Lanning will be just fine. He will handle this just totally fine. This is contender with a capital C, my friend. Contender with a capital C. You are ready to move on to the next one?
Yeah, let's go
ready
to
move on to the next one? Ohio State.
This is tough. And I'm going to tell you why it's so tough.
I was hoping I'd catch you off.
It's because they have so many young, new pieces, right? And I'm big on people haven't been there and done it before, right?
Yeah.
And experience and things like that. I'm going to go contender just because they're so talented as a football team.
Yeah.
But I will say I'm slightly worried about this.
Contender because you won a championship last year, and I can no longer hold that against Ryan Day. Julian Sain showing up, but I have yet to see. We don't know that Texas team means a whole lot yet, right? And you haven't played anybody.
Yep.
So you play Washington this week.
Yeah, and that's because I think Washington could score some points.
Let's see what you're made of. This could be upset alert situation. So contender, but I don't feel like Oregon. I'm smashing the contender button. Ohio State, I'm like,
lightly touching.
I'm like putt. There we go. Miami, the U.
I'm going to go contender. One, because this defense is playing way better than what it played last year. Mm-hmm. Secondly, I'm going contender for Miami is because Carson Beck is playing solid football. Did he play great last week against Florida? No, but I think they're learning, and while they're learning, they're winning. And that's that's where you want to be, right? You rather win and have lessons than take those losses and have lessons. So I'm going to go Miami win. I think they're trending up.
Okay, pretender. This is the first one we're going to disagree on. I don't trust Carson Beck.
Ooh, okay, you're not buying into it.
Not buying in. Not buying in. Barely beating a bad Florida team. Not buying in. Listen, I get it. The U's got a lot of positivity right now. But like we said, this is about winning a natty. Just like with the NFL, it's about winning a Super Bowl. I don't see Miami winning a national championship, so I'm going pretender. I'm going pretender. All right, Penn State. I know where you're headed here.
Oh, I'm going pretender. Pretender all day long. I'm not buying. I'm sorry. I've seen enough of Drew Aller to let me know that I probably need to be concerned in certain moments. The key word for Drew Aller is consistency. Yep. And when you talk about winning a national championship with the current playoff format, right? You're talking about a Big Ten championship. You're talking about getting into the playoffs. You're talking about winning, 3-4 games. You have to play consistent. Yep. I think Drew Aller is an inconsistent quarterback. That's why I'm going pretender.
Penn State pretender also. James Franklin, you got to win a big game.
Have to win a big one.
You got to win a big game. You beat Oregon at home this weekend. We can have a conversation, but I got to see it. I got to see it on a consistent basis, and I haven't seen it thus far. So I'm going to back to agreeing with you. It feels better to be on the right side. LSU.
I am going contender. They have the most experienced quarterback in college football. They have QB1 with Garrett Nussmeier. You want to know why?
QB1 with an asterisk, man. There ain't no QB1 in football right now.
Cut it out. Listen, it's LSU. Them LSU Tigers, they have one of the best wide receiver cores. The defense is turned around. I'm buying in to what defensive coordinator Blake Baker is doing. I'm buying in to my guy, Corey Raymond, the best defensive back coach in not only college football, but in the entire NFL. That's including the NFL, the best defensive back coach, Corey Raymond. I'm going to say that. So I'm going to go their contenders. I think they can go and they can battle with anybody in college football. That gives you a chance to win a national championship. The LSU Tigers are contenders.
We're going to disagree here again.
Ooh,
pretender.
There's a whole lot of haterade going on.
No, there's no haterade. This is Brian Kelly.
Okay. Oh, this is directed at
Brian Kelly.
Okay.
Ain't won a natty, ain't gonna win one.
Okay.
That's it. That's all. You can have Corey Raymond. You can have Garrett Nussmeier. You can keep all them. You know who they have still at the helm? Brian Kelly.
Right.
Brian Kelly ain't winning a national championship.
Okay.
Call me when he wins one. Call me when he wins one. That's my analysis. Georgia. This is a team, man.
I'll say this. I feel about Georgia the same way I feel about Ohio State. A lot of unknowns.
I feel better about Georgia than I will say
because
Ohio
of the
State.
Tennessee game.
Yeah.
And I seen them score a lot of points, right? And it seemed like they they have a definitive.
And I trust Kirby more.
That's about to say, they have a definitive recipe to how they will win. So I think it's going to be a lot of new faces. But they talking about this team is talented, man. When you look 100%. At Zachariah Branch at the wide receiver position, they're loaded at running back. The offensive line, defensive line, trenches are good. I think this is a good football team. Yeah. And Georgia is a team that, for some reason, nobody's talking about them as favorites or anything like that. But I think they're definitely somebody to watch out for. The Contenders.
Big agree. Contender. Moving right along because I don't have anything to add to that. The Oklahoma Sooners.
Oh. I'm going to go. I'm giving out a lot of contenders, too.
I'm going contender. I'm going first here. I'm jumping in. I'm going contender because QB1 and Garrett Nussmeier is John Mateer. Mm-hmm. QB1, the best quarterback that we've seen play football this football season is John Mateer. The best wins, the best moments, the best Heisman moments. He's the Heisman favorite right now for a reason. He has had a lot of big clutch moments against tough opponents already. They have won big. They have looked good. They've fought back. They've scrapped. I like this team a lot, and I hate saying that as a Nebraska fan. I hate saying that, but it's the truth. It's what I see. And as long as you got that quarterback playing like that, and Brent Venables, for my money, one of the top coaches in college football, and man, oh man, does Clemson miss Brent Venables.
Y'all do they? I'm gonna go contender real quick, and I'm gonna lean on the defense side of the football. Mason Thomas, Marvin Jones.
They got dudes.
Yeah, they got dudes over there, and they showcase it against Auburn.
They got dudes. Another team, a little bit of a surprise this year, right? Florida State, a team that everybody really liked last year, who was highly disappointing, right? Coming into this year on a mission, putting it on people. Florida State, contender or pretender?
I'm going to go pretender at Florida State, and here's why. I think they're still a year or two away from totally rebuilding this roster. I don't think it's the same roster that they've had in years when they've competed for national. Was that 2 years ago when they were the best team in college football before their quarterback, Jordan Travers, got injured? I'm going to go pretender. I'm going to go good turnaround, maybe next year.
Yeah, not a team that could make the college football playoff, but not a team I see winning a national championship. Yep. All right, then next one, a team that had a lot of sauce coming into this year. Texas Longhorns. Up or down?
Oh, I'm going to put them up. I'm going to hook them horns. I'm going to say it's a contender. I think what happened with this team is, and I'm going to go ahead and add them in the same bucket with another with the other two blue blood programs. Ohio State, Georgia, Texas. They had so much turnover, but you know that the talent is there. Arch Manning is going to find his stride. He has all new weapons. He has an all new offensive line. It's his first time there. So there's not a lot of experience and leadership there. They're trying to work through the nuances of figuring this thing out, right? And I think they play Florida in a couple weeks, I believe. Maybe this week or in a couple weeks. And I think they'll be ready and hitting their stride then. So I believe in Texas. I think that they have the talent. It's just a matter of everything meshing and molding together. The one thing they can hang their hat on is that the defense looks ready right now, right? The offense will turn over and figure it out.
I think they are on a bye week this week.
So and I think, they have 2 weeks,
Yeah, I think in 2 weeks. But I think what you're looking at with this team and why I agree with you, as much as I hate this and I would love to do this, contender because Arch is gaining confidence.
Yeah, and that's huge.
And that's huge. And there's one thing I know. Y'all can make all your jokes and all your memes and everything. Arch Manning going to play in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So you can keep your jokes for yourselves. He's not going to not figure out a way, okay? And I saw a play that a lot of people did not like, his mom included, okay? Arch talked about it in a press conference. But him standing over after he gets into the end zone. And you know what? It's because he admitted it. It was loud. The noise was loud. But he got back in the end zone. He rushed that ball in. He felt good. He stood over the DB looking down at him. You know what? You don't like it? Stop it. Mm-hmm. That's the theme of this entire show. You don't like it, stop it. Yep. Okay? Otherwise, the tush push, don't get banned. That's for another show. All right, the Indiana Hoosiers.
Oh, pretenders. And I'm jumping on the same bandwagon I was last year. The schools that are not premier schools, that don't have premier talent, I'm not buying into them for being national championship contenders. We went through the playoffs. We put in the Indianas. We put in the SMUs. I told y'all, great stories. Save it for a whole nother bracket. If we want a bracket for great stories in college football, then let's do that. But Indiana, I respect what they did. I respect their head coach. But when you're talking about being championship contenders, I'm just not buying in.
We're past good storylines.
Yeah. Yep.
We've moved on to a different level. We've moved on. We've moved past good storylines. Yep. I get where you stood last year. I'm not letting you stand there this year. They just
What?
put it on.
On who?
Illinois.
Another basketball school. One
No,
basketball
no,
school
no,
beat
no.
another basketball school.
Okay, listen, what we're not doing here is we're not going to take shit that was pre-NIL era of football and bringing it in.
One basketball school beat another basketball school.
Brett Bielema is a damn good coach.
He
Illinois
is,
was
100%.
playing really well, and Fernando Mendoza did enough for us to pay attention. And it's not 1 year. It's not a flash in the pan. They are back after last year's success, coming back and doing what they're doing. I am calling them a contender.
Okay, listen,
calling them a contender, I'm just telling you, we're way past this is a good storyline.
All I'm going to say is I'm going to look at the camera and I'm going to tell all the Draft Club fans, just wait on it.
Yeah, just wait on it. Trust me, there are quite a few things we're going to wait on, and I'm going to come collect. Notre Dame, the last one here, contender or pretender?
Man, this is going to hurt. I have to go Pretenders. And I have to go Pretenders because Notre Dame, in my opinion, has yet to find a quarterback that I believe is dynamic enough to go out there and win a couple football games. They have a very strict way of how they have to win. And if it doesn't go that way, then I don't trust it. And there are too many teams that we talked about at the top of this list that were pretenders that can, one, win in multiple ways, but that can also score points. Like I take, for example, if you put them against a Tennessee team that you know for sure can score 30 points. Yeah. I'm not 100% confident that Notre Dame can score 30 also. Yeah. So I'll say Pretenders. I think they're a playoff team. I think they're tough, gritty, competitive. Marcus Freeman's one of the best coaches in college football.
Agreed.
I think they're still a quarterback away.
I think they are going to be a college football playoff team as well. Yep. I think they'll probably win a first-round game at home in that first weekend, and that'll be the end of the show.
Yep.
The quarterback situation is going to catch up to you eventually. And last year, you maximized Riley Leonard and his talent. And Riley's a winner. Mm-hmm. It mattered. Riley willed them to wins in moments. It did some non-traditional stuff as a quarterback. But you've got two great running backs in Notre Dame. You've got great fundamentals. You've got great defense. It's a disciplined team. And like you said, Marcus Freeman, damn good coach. One of my favorites, a top 5 in college right now. But you got to figure out the quarterback position. Yep. You do, and they just don't have it right now. That doesn't mean they can't be in the college football playoff, but we're not talking about making the playoff. We're talking about winning a national championship, and I just don't see them doing that this year.
Yep, well, that wraps it up. I'll tell you one thing. I know Draft Club, we contenders over here.
We contenders, and you know where we'll be contending this weekend is at the Pemberton.
There we go.
Saturdays. College football Saturdays, and that's with a Z-E at the end.
Yep, there we go. Well, that wraps up Draft Club. I'm Keith Sanchez. That's Paige Dimakos. This is Draft Club, players only.